Laura, what's the most ADHD thing you've done this week? Laura? Laura? Oh, that's right. You're in Ibiza and I'm in Aberdeen, and we didn't record the intros and outros for this episode before you left. Yeah, you're right. I think that is the most ADHD thing that we've done. So hi everyone, it's Dawn. I'm on my own and feeling rather exposed. I'm not going to stick around here long. I just wanted to say that we're delighted to share that we hit 150,000 downloads this week, and people are still listening to us even though we make monumental fuck-ups like forgetting to record a whole episode. So thank you for sticking with us through the good, the bad and the ugly. We very much appreciate it. We tried our best to get everything done before Laura went on holiday, and yeah, we were always going to miss something. So anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this intro because I feel really weird doing this on my own, and it doesn't feel good. I need Laura. So I'm just going to quickly introduce this week's guests that we have. We have a duo, Vivienne and Shauna from ADHD Babes. So ADHD Babes are a community group for Black women and non-binary people with ADHD. In this interview, we're going to be talking to them about ADHD and the roles that they play within their community group. We had a fantastic time talking to them, and we hope that you really enjoy this interview as much as we did. And without further ado, let's get to it so that I no longer have to sit here talking on my own, feeling all exposed. Thanks, help, bye. ADHD as females, ADHD AF. ADHD as females, the podcast. Hi, I'm Dawn.
Hi, I'm Laura, and we are ADHD AF. Seriously. We are two neurodivergent neighbours who moved to the same street at the same time, at the same age, with the same undiagnosed disability. What are the chances?
Since discovering the enormous impact ADHD has had on our lives and the horrifying numbers of missing undiagnosed females, it has become our mission to make some serious noise.
We want to use our voices to raise awareness, break the stigma, and share our experiences in the hope that they help others.
So join us for a chat, or as it's called up here in Aberdeen, a blether.
Trigger warning, we will be covering some really sensitive topics, so please do have a read of the description of each episode before listening.
It's important to note that we are not medical professionals, we're not therapists or coaches, we're not qualified to offer advice or support. What we will do is share our experiences alongside resources and information from professionals. We will talk over each other and we will go off topic and forget the point mid-sentence.
We are both assigned female at birth, which means that we can only speak from the experience of life as AFAB people. However, ADHD AF is an inclusive space. Whatever your gender, you are very welcome here.
Yes, you are. ADHD as females, ADHD AF.
So we have got the ADHD babes, or two of the ADHD babes, talking to us this evening. Would you please introduce yourselves, tell us a bit about what you do and who you are?
So I'm Vivienne. I'm the founder and managing director of ADHD Babes. So kind of focus on the outreach related stuff like our support groups, our kind of wellbeing content, just kind of community engagement in general, and then just supporting all the other activities that happen.
So as you started ADHD Babes, it started as a support group in person?
No. So it actually started as a Facebook group.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. When Facebook was active, it was on there. And then we moved to WhatsApp when WhatsApp became active, and then we moved into Twitter and Instagram from there. Yeah.
And now podcasting.
Yeah, that's where I come in.
Yeah.
So I'm Shauna. I'm the podcast producer. And as I was just saying, I actually joined ADHD Babes in December. And I just really Viv makes it such a welcoming space that everybody just wants to help. We were saying this to her the other day. We're just like, how is it that you just get everybody wanting to help you out? So I kind of was like, yeah, let's do a podcast. We need it. We need our voices out there.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to make it a community thing, which reflected kind of the group as well. So that's why we have different hosts every week.
Yeah.
They're all members of ADHD Babes, and some of them wanting to do it by themselves, not sure where to start, and it's a really good place to kind of almost body double, get some of that anxiety out of it. So everyone's like really enjoying it.
It's fantastic. We really enjoy it. It's a wicked podcast. Sorry, excuse me. And it's really nice to talk to you. We've been speaking to a few different people that are doing different things, like online or podcasting with ADHD. And because we are just two late diagnosed people that don't really know what we're doing, it's been so nice to be welcomed, because at the end of the day, we are all fighting for the same cause. So it's really, really nice, because we were a bit like, oh my God, what if people are like, who are they?
I'm sure there are plenty of people like, who are they? But
well, me too. I think that.
Who am I today?
Yeah, and I always almost find that, like, I think with late diagnosis that you end up finding so many people in the same boat, and you spend a lot of your life not feeling connected to other people, that when you do find your group, it's just like, okay, like no one cares, like everyone's your friend.
It really, really is. And it's so weird, isn't it? We were saying that it's like being an alien and then finding out that there's loads of you.
There's a whole planet.
A whole planet. And then it's like, especially in terms of when you're finding out about ADHD and you see all the different symptoms, the different ways it can present, and it's literally like somebody is talking about you. It's like, is this a joke?
Yeah, it's like a prank. Like, no, someone stole my diary. And you put it on Instagram.
You always see like the different posts and the little memes and stuff that they have for ADHD on like Reddit or Instagram or something like that, and then you'll have a comment like, these need to be stop being so relatable, I need to go see a doctor.
I feel personally victimized by this post.
Like literally you're just calling me out.
So should we dive in a bit more?
Yeah, so how did you both come to suspect you had ADHD? We'll start with you first, Viv.
Oh, so I didn't suspect, actually. I literally didn't really understand what it was, but I knew something was up, so I got assessed for autism.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went traveling for a couple months in Sri Lanka, and just while I was there, I was like, no, something's not right. And I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out what it is.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I was working for the National Autistic Society, and I was like, oh, I have rigid routines, and I have sensory difficulties, and I struggle in social scenarios. I was like, maybe that's what it is. So I kind of went to my GP with all of that, and they sent me off, did the assessment, and they was like, no, you don't have autism, but they like screen you for like OCD and ADHD and stuff like that. Okay. And they said I scored really high for those two, and then they referred me to the ADHD clinic, and then 6 months later, I'm walking out with a ADHD assessment that I shoved in the cupboard.
I think you're missing something. I think I remember you saying you got diagnosed more than once. No.
Oh yeah. When I was at uni, they assessed me for dyslexia and dyspraxia. Yeah. And I was like, I also think you have ADHD, but I can't clinically give that to you. So please go to a GP. And I was just like, okay, cool, thanks, cool story.
Yeah, cheers.
Literally, like, you've given me enough labels, leave me alone.
So how was there a long time difference between those two things, you getting your ADHD diagnosis and the university one?
Yeah, slightly, because I think I actually got it was at least 4 years, because I got the dyslexia one when I was 20, and then I got the ADHD after uni when I was like 24, 25.
So did you just kind of ignored that uni one and being like,
It was suppressed. Even just now, it was suppressed. Shauna reminded me.
Just not in a place to hear that at all. It's funny though, isn't it? Because it's a bit like we know somebody who got diagnosed as a child and didn't revisit it until she was much older. Yeah. Because I guess again, it's the not knowing, it's the lack of knowledge and awareness that's out there. You don't know the impact that can have on your life in different ways. Like you just be like, oh, that means I'm hyperactive, or whatever your stereotypical idea is. That's super interesting. Yeah. So Shauna, what about you?
So it's funny because I kind of lived my whole life just kind of like YOLOing. So I never wasn't really self-conscious or anything like not self-conscious, self-aware, sorry, about my symptoms. I was just like, I don't care, fuck it. This is me. Take me as I am. But then my boyfriend actually said something, and what he said was exactly what my first boyfriend said when I was 16. And I was like, that can't be a coincidence. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know, so I was already trying to kind of explore my mental health because I was quite low and depressive at the point. So I was trying to get myself back on top. The pandemic really helped because I was able to just, life slowed down, and it wasn't just paying the rat race. It was kind of
going in
at home. Yeah. And I think everybody felt that. And then, you know, as you do, just trying to kind of help yourself, looking for things, I actually ended up stumbling across a YouTube channel. And it's really annoying because I don't remember it's gone from my thing, and I only watched a video of it this morning, but her name's Jessica and she calls everyone brains. It will come back. I will look
ADHDers.
No, not ADHDers. No, but similar brain. But yeah, so I'll Google it when I'm not talking. But yeah, I saw a thing, and I felt so like seen. I was like, oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I had this, and then kind of spiraled. When by then it was like you couldn't even get a right to choose path because they were saying, oh, you still have to wait a year, and I'm one of those ADHDers that it has to happen now. So I went and found a private diagnosis. I ended up getting diagnosed last December, so it hasn't even been a year. And I've just been trying to pull myself together since then, pretty much.
So that's when and how for both, isn't it? So what has undiagnosed ADHD cost you?
Parking tickets, and parking tickets. Man, yeah, that's one thing. But I guess more generally, someone said it was support groups, where it's like when you don't have like managed ADHD, it's like what's that black ball that goes up and down when they're like getting rid of buildings?
Like a wrecking ball.
That's it.
Yes.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, like they said it in the support group where it's like a wrecking ball. It just goes into like every area of your life, and it's very much in that sense where it like goes there and it will smash up your education, and because it does that, then it goes and smashes up your mental health.
Ricochets off.
Yeah. And that is literally what it's felt like at times, like especially when it's been at crisis points where it's like, like for example, even though it was a mixture of stuff, like I finished junior year late, like I did really badly in my first year of A-levels, just like school life, getting into a lot of like fights and arguments. So it's kind of impacted education, lost friendships. I'm pretty sure if I met them now, we'd still be friends. Like I feel like it's hit like loads of different aspects of my life. And I think the ones that hurt the most is probably the relationship stuff, because education is like, well, you know, like I didn't get the support I needed. And like luckily enough, I was able to get through just later than everybody else. But the friendship stuff and the like intimate relationships, it's like, oh man, I like you, but and the parking tickets hurt a lot.
I've definitely had a few of those in my time.
I can't even drive, so
I mean, I'm very
The thing is about the parking tickets, like so many times I've gone in, like come out of my car after parking it to go and get a parking ticket, but in that time from leaving my car to go and getting my ticket to park,
I've forgotten to get it.
Or walked into the shop, and it's just like,
so that's why you're there.
Or the other one that I like to do is like I'll be going to work and I could park outside my work and chance getting a parking ticket, or I can go to the car park that's free, but I'm going to have to walk 10 minutes from the car park to get to work. And if I walk that 10 minutes, I'll be late.
Yes.
So instead of being late, I'll risk getting a parking ticket.
But actually, you're trying to be on time.
Exactly.
It's a double-edged sword.
Right? Rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Now, I just appeal every single one. And when they say no, I just pay it. I'm like, I need to try. I actually literally got into a discussion with my counsel. I was like, guys, let's do this. Because I have 6 tickets unpaid. I think we need to figure out something here.
Have you tried to appeal them on the basis that you have a brain disorder?
Yeah. And they gave me half price off. So
Good.
yeah,
Good to
Well,
know.
that's good.
yeah. But that's when I had 6 though. They haven't done that 6. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
God.
God.
I don't think I've ever got 6 at once, but that's me.
No, it was within a month, so it was kind of
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's quite
Yeah.
impressive.
I was quite shocked with myself. I really sat down with myself and journaled. I was like, I think we need to change.
Just have a little word with yourself.
Yeah. So this is too far. You're having discussions with the council. They know you by your first name. I think this
Yeah.
I've changed though. Now it's like once a month, and that's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Shauna?
I can't say I've had as many parking tickets as Viv in a month's space, but yeah, definitely fines.
Yeah.
I've definitely forgotten to pay the Dartford charge too many times. And it's annoying because it's not like you have to go through a booth or like pass a ticket thing. You've got to remember to go online and do it.
Yeah, don't you think in a way though that is so like that is an accessibility issue?
Yeah.
Like, that's not all right, actually.
And
Like,
I'm
you
very
have to pay a
technical as
fine,
well.
then it's
Yeah.
their duty to help you to do that. Otherwise,
remember.
it's catching people out.
Yeah.
You don't send me no reminder. You don't send a
Yeah.
letter to my door saying, don't you remember that you haven't paid this? No, you don't. You just
Yeah.
go, oh, you went through this tunnel. Yep. So a lot of Dartford charge fines. I would say, yeah, education was probably where I felt most lost, or that I lost out on, just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Funnily enough, it's taken me 10 years to go back to what I was doing as a teenager, but I got there. So yeah, that's been hard, and definitely relationships. And I feel like more, instead of what I've lost, I feel bad for the people that I've hurt, because I got bored with them in 6 months. So
sorry.
yeah, sorry. You're really nice. When I say it's me and it's not you, I really do mean it. I'm not just saying it. But yeah, probably relationships with both friends and partners has been quite difficult. I know that friends would have been around, but meeting loads of new people, so there's you guys.
It's interesting because I was just thinking then, because you both said that about like friendships, it definitely resonates. Do you feel like there's an element that maybe they might have been undiagnosed ADHD as well, and it's like clashing symptoms, or is it just different worlds?
See, I think that if we both had ADHD, we'd probably still be friends, because most of the people that are still around me are neurodivergent.
Yeah.
And so they kind of understand.
It's a wavelength thing, if nothing else. Like,
Exactly. So I actually don't think that would have been why. I think it's more likely that they were neurotypical.
And they couldn't handle.
Couldn't understand them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So what has changed for you since diagnosis, Viv?
I think it was a gradual change.
The second one.
Not the first one, because they didn't count.
That first one was a precursor. Also, before I forget, you can actually do auto payments for Dartford and congestion charge.
I understand that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I learnt my lesson.
Okay. Because I just remembered, I was like, how have I stopped paying those fines? And that's how. Spreading the news for the other neurodiverse drivers. How has it changed? After the second time, I think it almost kind of I think when I didn't know what was going on, I was kind of cruising, and it was very like turbulent, like things would be extremely good and extremely bad. And based on that, like when I worked with health professionals, they were like querying EPD, because they were saying kind of like the high ups and downs and whatnot. But then actually, now that I understand the kind of emotional regulation side of things, and like how I can get overstimulated and like ways to try and reduce that, I can make sense of myself a lot more. And it also means that I can actually like do the things that I want to do, because I get so many ideas, and like those ideas are like lost to the wind because I didn't understand the whole kind of that we get loads of ideas, and the hard part is the execution. So like now having accountability people, or like, you know, having like my notepads everywhere, or like having my book where I've got like, these are my long-term goals, blah, blah, blah. Like it just means that I'm actually like living the life that I want for myself a lot more.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it doesn't make it like it's not easy. Like it's still extremely exhausting every single day, but it's just I'm a lot like kinder to myself through it. And a lot more intentional about like how I get through the day, rather than just vibes before. But it was really just vibes.
And can I ask, are you medicated?
No, unfortunately not. Ironically, you know, when you miss ADHD appointments, they discharge you.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So you're medicated and it's not by, you're not medicated and it's not by choice.
yes, yeah,
No.
yeah. It's really weird. I missed like basically they give you like 3 strikes, and I kept either missing appointments or being really late, so they couldn't see me. And then like by the 4th time, they was like, "Yeah, you're discharged. Sorry." I was like, "Oh."
But
Kind of
that
ironic.
is so fucked up, because the
Yeah.
point is you need the medication to combat
Could not
the
be.
symptoms. No, that is
Right?
ableist. That is ableist bullshit, actually.
Tell them. Tell them. Honestly.
Awful.
And
So you can't-
is that through the NHS?
Mm,
Yeah.
bullshit. It's
yes.
not okay. There has to be some other way that works.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
accommodations
Like-
need to be made somewhere.
It's not right.
Considering that the DSM says running late, misses appointment as like a ticket, like come on, bro.
Yeah. That is so
Yeah,
bad. Like,
that's-
I was even getting annoyed about the fact that you can't just have a rolling repeat prescription, because I
No.
keep messing up and then forgetting to ring in time, and like
Yeah.
stupid system. It doesn't work.
It's funny
What
how
solutions do you
is
have?
everything in place that they have is working against you.
Yeah.
Everything. Forms, like just to get like some help from the government, they've got like 40-page forms, and you're like, are you serious?
People. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I still haven't done it. Like, what?
I could throw up at the sight of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Shauna, what about you? What's
Yeah.
changed for you since diagnosis?
Definitely just more self-awareness. I'm still quite new, I'm still quite fresh. I'm not
Yeah.
medicated either. I paid for my diagnosis. Then I'd have to pay for titration plus the prescription plus the medication. And I'm like trying to wait for the NHS, and they just sent me a letter going, you're in the waiting list. We can't tell you when you'd be. The queue is years long.
Yikes.
Again, it's just more bullshit.
It is such bullshit.
It's like giving people an undisclosed amount of time.
That's
For,
not-
Yeah.
You just go put your life on hold for a second,
And that's the
we'll come back to
problem.
you.
Is
To
that
be
it's so
fair on
bad
them.
for your mental health to live in limbo. Like, you can't live like that.
I feel like if you've reached out to your doctor for help, you're saying you need help now, not
Yeah.
in 2-3 years' time. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? To be fair with them, they sent me a really nice letter going, we understand that this is not ideal. We understand that. I know it's not your fault, but
It's not acceptable.
by the time you actually come round, I would have forgotten about you.
Yeah.
The system is broken. It is. It doesn't work any which
Yeah.
way, and it really can't go on like this. It just can't. It can't.
No, yeah.
Right.
So
Not sustainable.
no, so
don't-
I am still waiting for that kind of support, but
Yeah.
I do feel, I agree with Viv. I'm definitely kinder to myself. I'm
Yeah.
definitely more aware of my emotions, like what triggers me. I'm like learning a lot about myself and
Yeah.
about the people I want around me. Because it's so easy just to fit into toxic relationships because you're a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So finding the best people that are gonna like understand me
Yeah.
and support me and push me to be the person I can be.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's been my main takeaway this year.
That's amazing. That's really, really good. And I think that's it. Like, you know, no matter how many times we say we don't know what we're talking about, people ask us for advice. And so it's like the only advice that we can give is like lean into the community. Like, if
Yeah.
you can't get support, then there are so many support groups online, forums to chat in, whatever, because only we know how this feels. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so if you can't actually get treatment, at least you can have that understanding and that support.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like joining a support group or talking to other people with ADHD that I noticed a lot of similarities and symptoms that aren't even on the diagnostic criteria. So even when you're saying, oh yeah, yes,
Yeah.
all the time, frequently, very frequently, you're fitting those, but then there's all these other ones like RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, they just don't put on there, and everyone seems to
Yeah.
have as a
Relate to
symptom. Yeah, so it's kind
Yeah.
of like that kind of understanding is what helps, because you're not going to get that from a doctor.
No.
Yeah. And that's it. I think the community thing as well. Like, before I went down the ADHD route looking for a diagnosis and stuff, and there wasn't many people talking about it. And now that we're talking about it, I feel like it's everywhere. But that's only
Opens your
that's
eyes
only
to the
because
world.
it's everywhere in my life, because I'm surrounded myself with about it.
Exactly.
So if you put yourself into that community, you can
It will
also
open
be
up.
surrounded
Yeah.
by it and
Yeah.
have support.
That's so true.
And you're constantly normalized. I think that's one thing I have realized when I step out of the space, I see how drastically different it is. And I think because I spend so much time in it now, whenever I go out, I'm like, oh, this is scary. Like, people are, like,
I want to go back to my planet.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna jump on a plane.
Normal people in their normal lives. I'm not used
This
to
is
that.
boring.
But yeah.
This is boring. But I think even just in terms of knowing that people can like empathize and also like give you grace as well, because even if like one of us is late to a meeting, we're not sitting there like, oh my God, they don't care. Like, it's more like, oh, I was late yesterday. Like I understand that maybe they just lost track of time or blah. Like, it's just so much more, I don't know, like you just get held. Like a lot.
It's compassion and understanding, empathy, like 100%.
That's why we're pushing for more awareness, so that everyone can
have it.
Be a little bit more compassionate and
because I think that's what's so strange is even now, like the ADHD adults, they always say it's 1 in 40 adults is estimated, which is probably what's the word, like a conservative estimation. There's probably more, and so this is a huge problem. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Do you know what's actually really funny that you say that? Because when I got diagnosed, I got my mum to do the other side of it. You know, you need someone to know you as a child, kind of thing, to say you. And after doing it, she was like, you know, I figured out you probably did get this from me. But I'm 50 now, so like, what's the point? And I'm like, no, mum, like, you still got your life ahead of you. But even like, there's people like her that would feel the exact same. So they say this, but I also feel like there's a difference between being diagnosed as a child and being diagnosed as an adult, because as a child you haven't had a chance to get all of those bad habits, and it's hard to break a habit. So I feel like they set themselves up with the support that they need while young to get into the right routines and have the right kind of behaviors or routines or whatever from the get-go. But when you're like in your 30s and then or later, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get diagnosed, you're just kind of like, okay, but I do this and I do this, and I know that now I'm stimming, but I shouldn't do this. Or I think it's much easier when you start as a kid.
100%. Because otherwise it's like that's like the depression side of it, that's such a common comorbidity, is like this feeling of ineptitude, of not, you know, messing things up, letting people down. You're dragging this horse around all the time that you're not good enough, and that I hope that we shake that off.
What was it?
I'm not, you know.
What was it Louise that said? Like, by the time you're however years old, like you've had like 20,000 more bad comments, like negative comments towards you as an undiagnosed ADHD child than a normal child would have. Or a neurotypical child. Which is no wonder we feel shit about ourselves.
I think it's also like we're women as well. If you look at like the females, I guess I don't really know people who identifies, but I'm talking about chromosomal. That we also like are set up to kind of be what we are in society, which is very organized. Know how to, like, you know, you take care of the family, you do all of this, and I can't keep a cleaning schedule. I'm just going to clean when I feel like it, you know. There's that kind of societal pressure that you then
expectations like, and even across the other way, it's like, you know, impulsivity would stereotypically be a masculine trait as opposed to a feminine trait. Like, totally.
It's really scary. I think it's interesting because some people in the group have got diagnosed like really late, like 50 upwards. And for them, it's still the same feeling of like, this is a relief. It's also kind of like shit, because I'm like, rah, how could people have missed it for so long? But then they also are like, yeah, but at least I know now. At least like I can connect with people that understand. So I think it is never too late. It would be wonderful if it was prevention rather than like having to cure. Which is obviously like what the intention of like what you guys do and like what ADHD awareness groups do in general, like trying to get in there from early. I guess it's trying to do a bit of both.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's it. It is like there's so much value in it, but it is such a difficult journey. And we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? It's like this idea of trying to get to acceptance, and it's like, I don't know that it is something that is like a definite achievable thing, because it's always going to twist and turn and come back to you, isn't it? If you know, if it is later in life, you can't just be like, oh no, now I'm sweet. You still have this push and pull of different relationships or different things that have happened that are going to sort of make you have a wobble again.
We spoke about it being like a grief cycle. Getting your diagnosis, and so you're dealing with it, and then you're obviously going through all the stages. So what kind of stage, where do you feel like you guys are on the late diagnosis roller coaster grief cycle?
Oh gosh,
because you're so new as well, Shauna. Like, where do you feel? What like, stages have you gone through?
What is it? There's like denial, anger,
isn't it bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. Is that right? Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I could be any more depressed. I better be in depression. Did I get any more depressed than this?
Oh God.
Oh, I know.
Oh, do you know what? I haven't even thought about it. I must say, like, I am one of those people who I don't register my emotions very well.
I'm a bit like that.
Yeah, I'm not one that actually, like, I could be depressed and not know it.
Mine usually is everything implodes around me, so the house becomes a mess. Everything. Yeah. I go out, get drunk, and night out, and go in self-sabotage mode.
You haven't seen my house at the moment. If you could see left or right on me. That is exactly what mine looks like.
That's a pile of clean washing that I've just launched on a table.
Mine is on technology. Yeah. And it can stay there until it needs to move, and that's fine.
Until I need that item of clothing that's at the bottom.
Exactly.
Dive into it.
Yeah.
It's a game, actually.
My cats have started sleeping on it and everything.
That means it smells nice.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
It won't by the time I wear it. The cats are sleeping on it.
You'll have to wash it again.
So where are you at?
Where are you at?
I think that I'm more at the not in denial. I'm in the I've forgotten the stages already.
Denial, anger.
Is it anger?
No, the one after anger.
Sadness.
Bargaining. I think I'm in bargaining mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't necessarily think I do those in order either.
No, there is no order.
Yeah, so I think
yeah.
I'm starting in with bargaining. And I'm going to see how it goes from there.
But I don't even think there is an order, and I think you flip between them, and sometimes you can go back and forward and all over the place.
Yeah.
So
it's not linear.
No, definitely not.
What about you, Viv? What do you think? As in now today, if we're going to say it's changing all the time, what about right now?
Do you know what? I feel like I'm kind of between acceptance and anger.
Yeah.
I think it does, and it also fleets depending on what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing something that I enjoy and I'm doing it well, then I'm like, oh, I love this life. But the minute I have to wash a dish or oh my God, who chose this? So yeah, I think it's kind of skipping between those two, because I think I've had one of those weeks where it's like things have gone really well, but then things haven't gone really well. And it's that whole kind of process of, but if only, I was neurotypical, or just even just deep in how like tiring doing simple, you can't see my fingers, but I'm doing those things.
Yeah.
Simple things, like how difficult it is. Like, cooking is really hard. I do not have the capacity to walk into the kitchen. I'm going to order Uber Eats. I mean, the moment
the delivery services are available.
I like, shall we get McDonald's off this? I can't be bothered to get
because I will.
Don't. We literally have had to sit down and have words with ourselves, because I looked at my bank account and I spent more on takeout than I did on groceries.
When I came back from holiday, I didn't eat a home cooked meal for 2 weeks.
I don't even. I'm like,
I just couldn't get.
What's weird about that?
Yeah. I hear it. Yeah,
and
that's relatable content.
Struggle street. Although I took mince out of the freezer when I came back from when I came back at lunchtime before I went out to work.
That's going to be cooked. Yeah, you're going to do it. It's going to happen.
You started.
I had this in mind, but it's probably going to sit in the fridge for 3 days, and then I'll throw it out again.
And then you start the process again. Honestly, like I think so. When you say it out loud, like it feels fine. But I think it was when I'm in those moments on my own, and lots of those things are happening. I'm like, oh my god, like why is just like life so much work? Like it's so tiring. And that's when I'm in the anger mode. I'm like, why is my brain? But then yeah, we'll flip because then I'll get to like do something social, or I'll get to like plan a project, and then it's all hunky dory. So I think yeah, at the moment it's the light switches.
Yeah, that's fair. So if you could implement change to the diagnostic process, what would that be?
And obviously we know make it quicker, but like if they just put you in charge, how would you do it? Like what would you do?
Yeah. First and foremost, those forms, oh God. I understand they want to be thorough, but I think at the bare minimum, they need to make sure that they're accessible or there's an alternative to how people send them in. Because just the ability to sit down and go through that form is pushed to the back of people's to-do list for so long because it's such a mundane task. And then that extends how long it's going to wait, because then even when you do it, you're still going to have to wait months and blah, blah, blah. So I think first and foremost, they need to fix that form, or they need to convert it in a way where those questions are being asked in the interview.
Yes. Well, do you know what? I just have to add to that, just to really take the piss. We heard that somebody got sent their forms and they had to send it back in 2 weeks, or that would be that done.
Well, that's what mine said.
That's what you're saying, 2 weeks. Because then it's like you're setting people up to fail.
So when I got my
forms, you're giving them a deadline.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's true. I
so when I got
I won't do things till I get a deadline.
That's true. That's true.
So mine said 2 weeks, and I had to put myself into the bath to do them because in the bath it meant I couldn't go anywhere, and I left all technology away, and I just left myself in the bath with these forms.
The paper.
It took me 3 hours in that.
Oh no!
Oh wow! You must have been so
wrinkly when I came out. But I got those forms done.
See what you're doing, yes,
isn't it?
You gotta do what works. That's a hack. Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry. So aside from the forms.
Fix the forms. Get those more accessible, or at least like figure out a system where you're helping people complete them. So like, you know, with PIP, for example, you can go to a law centre and someone can help you do that. Even if they have like a support worker or an assistant who can support people working through it. Like that's something that would be really helpful. And I guess this is more the aftercare, but like I feel like you get it, and then typically like it's either you do your meds or they're like, all right, well, good luck. And I think there needs to be some kind of interim where like, I know some clinics will offer psychoeducation, but not all of them do. So I think that needs to be rolled out as a standard. Like I'm pretty sure NICE guidelines recommend talking therapy as a standard for all ADHD clinics, and I don't think a lot of them do. So I think at the bare minimum, just follow the guidelines, have a talking therapist, make sure that there's aftercare in terms of psychoeducation, and create some kind of supportive space. So when people are freshly diagnosed, even though we've got loads, like we've made it ourselves by force, they should have something that's kind of run by professionals so they can answer the questions that we ask about specifically things like medication, things like how does it impact our work and XYZ. Like there wasn't, you get it and you're just like shooed out or you're titrated.
Well, someone was telling us that they were given a choice. They could have meds or therapy. But they were like
there and then.
And
oh my gosh.
Right there and then.
Decide there and then, and it's one or the other, not both.
Why or no?
I know.
No, they're supposed to be in conjunction together.
Exactly.
My guy was so frustrated. Like, I remember I was quite adamant that I just wanted to try the talking therapy first because I wanted talking therapy anyway. And I was like, no, I want you to do the meds. And I was like, okay, but I want to do the talking therapy. No, we're going to try you on the meds. And then all the meds, you're not going to have the talking therapy. So literally it was like trying to go through all these medications that weren't working. And then because I was missing the appointments, getting discharged and then just never getting the talking therapy in the end. So give us more options, please and thanks.
Absolutely. Any more?
Yeah, anything else to add?
I'll let Shauna go before I take them, and then I'll.
I don't know. I feel like because you also like I've been through it so much. You know what would change? I feel like the change needs to be bigger than just the process. If I'm honest, I think educate teachers, because I am sick of being one of them, but also hearing everybody go, teacher saying trigger words. Shauna can't focus. Shauna talks too much. Shauna, if she just applied herself, then she'd do better. It's the same over and over again. And if the teachers knew about it, we wouldn't be having this conversation or be waiting for doctors and triggering. We could get the support we need from there and then. So I'm going to circumvent the process, and I'm going to start at educating teachers so you can catch it. The poor teachers, like, I get why they want to throw like kids who were, in my experience, kicking holes in walls out of the class. So that was my experience of ADHD. I didn't even know about it. So I would start with educating teachers. And then I would say more, there are ways that they could convert some of the questions that they ask you into a talking form. Bear in mind, one of the things is that we talk too much. We're happy to talk. So use it. And then I think if you are looking for help and you're doing that, part of the process should be that you continue to get support. It's not just like, okay, here's some medication, you're an adult, you know what you're doing. If I knew what I was doing, I would have done it like years ago. Exactly. So I think it's more of the post-care. Like, they don't seem to treat ADHD like it is even as important as dyslexia. And I think that's wrong.
It's shocking. I saw a thing yesterday, and it was like, people with ADHD, sorry, trigger warning, people with ADHD are 5 times more likely to commit suicide. Like, why the fuck don't people know that? Like, you're going to be like, you've got this brain disorder, you're going to go to a doctor who has an opinion that it's not a big deal, or it's not something that you could have because you can sit still, and this is how serious it is. Are you joking? Like, it's really not. It's really not right at all. But it's so interesting. You're absolutely right about the teachers as well, because when you look back at it, it's so obvious. Like, why could I do that class, but I couldn't do that class? And why could I sit and engage with you in class, but I can't get a thing in on time ever? So then I'm in trouble. I look like a good student, but I'm always in trouble. Like, it's so obvious once you know.
And it's so much harder for people who do fly under the radar. Like, I was someone who was smart. I was just naturally smart. I did not revise. My mum to this day will tell you I did not revise. I didn't do my homework ever. Like, I remember having one class, I never did my homework. I talked for the entire class, but I got the highest grade in class. So therefore I couldn't have ADHD because I was able to get a really good grade. Actually, the higher I got, the more I struggled and the more I acted out. And actually, if I'd known before, if they actually was like, okay, I get that you're smart, but you're not doing your homework. Why are you not building up that routine? So now when it gets to uni, I find it hard to spend all of the time studying that I need to, because I haven't built up that.
Like,
Exactly.
Yes.
I have an ability to do any self-directed work, and it's
oh god, no. I'm a walkover. I walk over myself.
Same. So why don't you tell us some positives? Positive sides of ADHD since diagnosis.
Anything that you like that's positive.
Since diagnosis.
Anything about ADHD, about anything to do with ADHD.
Anything that you see as a positive out of all of it. If there are any, there might not be.
We're not great. I think
I definitely think there is.
Go on then, Viv. What have you got?
I think first and foremost for me, my many interests is like that makes my life feel, how do I say it? Like, when I meet people, I really enjoy the fact that I can talk about different things with a genuine interest, and that means that I can connect with lots of different people. Like, even today I was talking to someone about jungle music, and I was like, oh, do you also like soca? Yeah. And do you like I genuinely do. Like, my face is brightening up because I genuinely have a love for this thing. So I think the fact that I have many interests and also like this abundance of energy means that I've spent a lot of time doing stuff that I care about, stuff that I'm passionate about. And when I'm actually good at something and then get the space to do it, it means that like I've been able to do stuff that I'm proud of. So like I can balance like my music and my interest in psychology and culture and history and things like that. So when I look back, I'm like, oh, I've done some nice stuff. This was fun, kind of thing.
That's really cool. That's a great one. Because it's like a genuine intrigue, it's an energy, it's an enthusiasm, it's a passion, and then it opens so many doors and leads to so many different opportunities.
I see what you're saying, but for myself, I have this issue that I'm really good at loads of things, but I'm not great at anything. And-
not true.
But that's how I feel.
That is not true.
Like,
I feel you. I feel you. I felt like that.
I get to a point with everything. Like, I've been learning guitar, self-taught.
She's amazing.
I'm not a guitar.
She is.
But anyway, I'm self-taught and I've been playing it for about 10 years. But
Yeah.
I stopped getting better about 6 years ago. I've just remained at that level because I'm no longer interested in doing the graft and the hard work that I need to get better. So it's just like, I'll play to the ability that I've learned and got myself to, but I'm just never going to get great at that thing. and I'm okay with that. I'm just
because you can still talk to people about it.
I can still do all of them, but not to like a high level. That's the issue.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I do hear it. I sometimes and that's part of my struggle sometimes. I'm like, if I just did one, I'd probably be a lot better at it.
Yes.
but then I'm also like, but if I do one, then I can't do the other one. And then I don't want to not do the other one. So I think that's the limbo that I kind of get stuck in. But in general, even just being able to like talk about I don't know how to describe it, but it's like when I'm interested in something, it's like a light goes on. And that like excitement of life. Yeah, I'm like, I like that. This feeling makes me feel alive. Like, I get giddy, like,
No, totally.
Yeah,
I know that excitement.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Shauna?
I feel the same. Like, I do love that I'm always got like loads of different ideas and very spontaneous, and I'll just be like, yeah, I want to do this, and I can just be with groups of people and be able to like have intelligent conversations about things that like I don't even have a real favorite genre of music because I'm just like, I like music, that's enough. If it's good, I like it. I don't care what genre it is. So I've always liked that. But since diagnosis for me, or just before, like being more positive about like being more self-aware, I've actually achieved a lot of the things that started up and got things started. Because there's a lot of ideas, but I've actually started to get things started. And since the pandemic, I've launched 2 podcasts and I started a side business. I've been able to kind of take away some of the things that I was upset because I couldn't get started on them.
That's amazing.
I feel really like I've achieved a lot in the last 2 years. So I'm really proud of that, but I also know that like even now with the podcast I'm like, but I have this idea and I have this idea and I do want to write about that episode, but that episode is happening in 10 weeks and this one's happening next week, so you need to get the script done. That is a little frustrating, but I'm also kind of like when I was leaving college, I was studying drama. And I decided, no, I don't want to do. They were like, this needs to be your passion. You need to live, breathe, sleep, eat drama, acting. I'm like, no, mate, I can't do that. No. Next. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to do this and this, and that kind of like fell down, and nothing ever came of it. But now I have like actually like found something. It is going back to drama. And it is, I don't know why people like my voice. I hate my voice. But if you're going to buy it off me, I'll record whatever you like, So
That's a funny thing that you hate your voice. Doesn't everybody hate their voice? You've got a lovely voice. I can't understand how anybody could listen to me. I literally sound like a chipmunk. I was called Squeak at school, and it's like, how are people tuning in to listen to this nonsense? And sometimes when it's on Zoom, if I get really excited and I laugh or I like squeal, it's like such a pitch that it just like takes it out. Like it won't even go in.
Do you know what I do every episode? I do have to like take the levels down a lot on everybody's chat, because like, we'll giggle and then I'll have to like go through and see where we laugh so I can lower.
And laughs do get bellow laughy.
It just means you're having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all good.
So is there anything that you would like to add that we've not covered? Is there a message you would like to put out, or anything that you would like to say about events you've got coming up, or anything?
Anything at all.
Anything.
What event do you want to you got more of the events than me, sweetie.
So we've got lots of events coming up. So actually it's coming to our 2-year anniversary since going public with our support group. So we're going to do an in-person support group. So yeah, that's that. We're also doing a blood drive. So we're encouraging Black people to come and donate blood. especially for people with sickle cell. So sickle cell awareness this month. So we're going to combine that with Black History Month, and we're going to do a blood drive in Stratford Blood Donor Centre. So that's also
really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
and technically, your listeners might hear it before ours.
oh yeah.
No, it's cool.
We've done a whole ADHD awareness month plan, and then it's like, oh shit, then that takes us into November, and then what do we do?
Well, you would have missed it, the blood drive,
Sorry.
but we still think you should go give blood. Everyone should go give blood.
Yes.
I can't be on the donor list, but if you could be on a donor list, not blood drive, just organ donor. I can't do an organ donor, but can do blood. So everyone do blood. So we've got loads of the blood drive coming, but we're trying to do some more podcasts. So for the podcast side, it's more like driving awareness. We want to look at a little bit of what trauma can do to you, looking at different, so obviously we do focus on people of color on our podcast, but that's just mainly to get our voices out there. There's not really another podcast where it's showing our experiences, and I think that it's important for people to feel a connection with other people.
100%, because on top of that, it is a different experience. It is going to be a different experience when you're looking at different ethnic minorities, people of, even within gender, anything, you're getting more and more marginalized, especially in this society, with the treatment in this community of ADHD. Within that, you look at the statistics, it's harder and harder. So it is a different experience that needs to be validated, and it needs to be validated 100%.
It just, people just need to feel that connection, and sometimes that connection can only come when your culture is you have that connection as well. So it's kind of how your parents would react to it. My parents were one way, other parents were another way. Being able to see what those cultural differences might be.
It's interesting. I spoke to a guy on a night out, and he said Black girls don't have ADHD.
No, because we're mouthy, innit?
And I said, do you really believe that? And he's like, no, but they would never admit it.
Well, they've been to our group.
I know.
Was he Scottish?
Was
No.
he black?
They need to follow us on Instagram.
He was black.
I feel do that searching. I'm thinking, because we did do one of the episodes we were talking about, and we are going to delve into a little bit more of generational trauma, but the Black community don't do mental health. We will get it's all right, pray on it, or they will just let it go past. So that might be the perspective.
The perspective I got from him is just there's so much stigma around it that it's even worse in the Black community, that people are ashamed to even say that they have it. That's the kind of where it sounded like he was coming from.
I think there are histories of people having mental health conditions, mainly bipolar, to be honest, where just because you're Black and you have a manic episode, you end up being sectioned. And so people don't want to come out because they think that they're going to get penalized for it.
So I think the rates are a lot higher. I think they were 7 times more likely for Black men, especially 7 times more likely than their white counterparts to be sectioned. And we're a lot less likely to kind of go in by choice. The statistics are really bad, and they've actually been bad for the last 50 years as well. So it's not like it's a new thing. Historically, it's always been that way. And I think it mixes in because, like you were saying earlier, Shauna, the pressure for women in general, people who are assigned female at birth, the pressure to be put together, organized. There's also a cultural pressure to that, as women in our society. So to then defer from that and be, hold this diagnosis that's associated with forgetting things and not being organized. It's there's not really space for you to do that, and then cue masking, cue overcompensating, cue depression and perfectionism and all that stuff. So I think it kind of knocks on in that sense.
So just got to keep on that awareness, and just what you guys are doing. Also, I loved Aberdeen, just so you know. That's great.
I also like Aberdeen. I've been to Scotland 3 times. I'm really proud of myself.
Well,
you beat me.
To Aberdeen.
Honestly, I love it. Yeah, man. I like that you guys don't like England.
Hey, can I ask?
It is true.
Some of us.
I'm joking.
I really have questioned about whether or not we need to move to Scotland. Now, I don't like the cold, so even North England is kind of questionable to me. But I really do like your free prescriptions.
Yes.
My colleague is in Edinburgh. She's Scottish, and she's like, you have to pay for that, and I'm like, yeah, I know, just down the road, but yes, we have to pay for it.
It's so funny because when I first went in and the woman just handed me the prescription, I was like, where do I sign and how much does it cost? And she's like, there you go. I was like, what?
Why is it free?
I have no idea.
Scotland get free prescriptions.
Yeah, but why?
Just because they're Scotland. There's no, I don't know what the reason behind it.
Our government have, fought for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What's our government doing? Fighting.
Oh.
Bringing up my mortgage prices is what they're doing.
Literally bringing down the pound.
Isn't it?
Start cutting them.
I'm upset. I've got some dollars in my account that I'm just waiting for the currency to go back up so I can convert.
But right now it's risky. You don't want to lose your money by moving it. Just I forgot to mention our membership has also gone live. It went live this month. I think. Yeah, it went live this month. So also for all listeners, if you're a Black woman or Black non-binary person with ADHD, then check out our membership and come and join the community and help us.
Yeah, so you can join support groups at twice a week. We do ad hoc events, and the Discord channel is pretty much always popping, so you can talk to people all day. They do body dumpling on there, body doubling.
And now I'm hungry. You said dumpling.
I don't even like dumplings.
Uber Eats.
It's all right. It's not my turn to cook, so just have to go make sure dishes are done. Yeah, so we're doing some of that, and we hope to be doing a little bit more crossover events with podcast episodes and in-person workshops as well, which it's a long planning process, but we're in the process of doing that, and that's going to be looking at like more getting government support for yourselves or for your children. So we are trying to kind of get more information out there and just kind of see how it goes.
How many of you are there that you have got all of this going on? How many ADHD babes are there? Because we are we've got one person helping us now and we still can't get anything sorted out. So how are you doing all this?
I'm not sure. Hyperfocus.
It's me and Kessie as like the kind of we're the two directors, and then we've got Shauna who leads the podcast, and there's like 4 or 5 hosts.
No more.
Oh, okay.
I think there's 8 hosts.
Right.
We just added a new one. But I basically do all the scheduling and all the editing and all of the thing at the moment. But again, it's going to be a community thing, so we'll pass over. But at the moment, it like what you hear has been put out has been kind of just put together by me with the recording sessions with them. So it sounds like it's a big production and stuff like that. That's just my great skills. / university degree.
Shauna's carrying all of that weight.
The jingle.
The jingle is actually pending.
Yeah, jingle is pending.
That's actually pending. And then
also, I am a voiceover artist, so if you need work,
we will bear that in mind.
So tell us, ladies, what is the most ADHD thing you've done this week, Viv?
I wanted to do laundry, and I also wanted to wash up. So by the end of the day, you have 3 plates that have been washed. You have headphones coming out of the laundry basket, and what was the thing that I started? Oh yeah, it was the tea. Yeah, then you got a tea bag just next to the kettle. But I just walked into the kitchen, like when I took out the thing and saw the headphones, I just looked around the room and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah,
it's enough
damage.
That isn't happening today.
Yeah, they're still sitting there, those headphones, because I'm not going to throw them away. So,
super. What about you, Shauna?
I'm trying to figure out which one's the most ADHD, because like multiple times a day I do like go, oh, I should go and get this. Like I will take a break, I'll go into the living room, put the kettle on, go into the living room, come back into the office. No, Shauna, you still haven't made your tea. Or just like
always the tea.
The other day,
so many parts to it because you've got to wait. I think
exactly.
No, see, I don't think it is. It's not even the waiting. I actually do think it's like I literally walked in. Like I went to not this glass. Oh, still has some coffee in it. That was from earlier today. I have like this like coffee mug, you know, like the really big ones, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some juice. So I was in the living room, I picked up the glass. I needed to go into my like pantry to get the ice and then into the kitchen. I took the glass, walked right past the pantry and the kitchen, up the stairs, and I was like, Shauna, what are you doing?
Yeah.
In the moment.
And that is at a crossroads with last night when I was cooking dinner, and I was like, okay, I need to put the kettle on. So I put the kettle on, and then I was like, okay, so that needs to go in for about 10 minutes. So I should put these in the air fryer first. So I'm going to put these in the air fryer first. And then I was like, do you know what? I actually want a hot water bottle. So I'm going to make the hot water bottles because my feet are cold. So I'm going to make the hot water bottle so that when I go back into the living room, I've got a hot water bottle to put on my feet. And then I realized I still hadn't started the pot yet. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do the pot. And then it got to the end, and I was like, putting it all in like in bowls, and I looked at it and I was like, I spent so much time in this kitchen and I still didn't boil any veg. I thought I had it all down. I was like, yeah, I do. Like literally, I was just like, I'm gonna wash the dishes. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put the kettle. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put some water in my hot water bottle. Nope, I need to go to the freezer because I forgot. It was just, I was like, it's not even that late.
But it feels it.
Yeah.
If we were able to utilize the time we've wasted with productivity, we would get so much done.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
the amount
I'd be
of time I
president.
waste on the daily is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's also like trying for some reason to do some sort of strategic planning of the different things that you're going to do sequentially when you're confusing yourself and you could just do one thing. It is. You could just
actually makes it worse.
It's like, I'll do this and then I'll do this.
Just because you can't focus on that one thing.
Yeah.
It's too boring.
Yeah.
I am noticing when it gets worse though.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? Now I put podcasts on like 1.5 to 2. It's amazing. Until the other day, I was listening to a podcast in the living room, and that was just on the speakers. And my boyfriend walked in, and he was like, "Why does everyone sound like a chipmunk?" And I was like, "Oh,
and you were just listening to me, weren't you?"
Regular speed.
Oh no. Oh no.
Listen to these ADHD females. We're going on there later.
That would have been hilarious. I kind of wish it was, just so that I could be like, yeah, sorry, love. But it wasn't. I'm actually like really into fictional podcasts at the moment. So I'm into like this Realm production group called Realm, and they do different like dramatizations of things. And they did this sci-fi podcast, and they did like an Orphan Black continuation, which is what I'm listening to now. Loved Orphan Black. And just because I'm having clearly my mind's going off thing, I did remember what that YouTube channel was.
Oh
yay! So it was How to ADHD.
I think I have seen that one before.
So I think it's quite popular, but she changed my life.
Amazing. That's good.
Maybe she's the next one to get on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try as well.
Fight you for it.
Yeah, who can get there first?
Well, I think that brings us to a close.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It's been so lovely speaking to you both. It really has.
It really has. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really nice, isn't it? Having two people as well. It's like,
I like it. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's been great.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Have a lovely evening.
You too.
Bye.
Right, call McDonald's.
Bye.
How good was that? So we both really enjoyed speaking to Vivienne and Shauna, and we hope that you did too. And as always, if you did enjoy what you heard and you would like to continue to support us, you can visit ADHDasfemales.com, where you can pick up some of our lovely, beautiful merch that's available. Currently supplied by All the Discos and Working Clasp. But we do have some more merch coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled. You can also head to buymeacoffee.com/ADHDasfemales, where you can support us by buying us a coffee or two, or you can even sign up to support us monthly and pledge £2 a month, which really helps us pay for the outgoings and everything behind the scenes that we're trying to do, so that we can concentrate on this full time and hopefully not make loads of mistakes, like forgetting to record intros and outros like we have done this week. But as always, thank you so much to everybody that supports us and to all our listeners. And if you're not in a position to support us through Buy Me a Coffee or through purchasing any of our merch, then don't worry, there are loads of other ways you can help. By sharing us on Instagram, Facebook, in any of the ADHD support groups that you're in, all of that really helps us get exposure, and that means that we can keep fighting the fight and keep shouting out loud and spreading awareness for ADHD. I'm going to go now because, like I said earlier, I don't like doing this on my own. I miss Laura. I need Laura. And even though I hope she's having the most amazing time on holiday, I want her back. So thank you. Take care. Love you. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And bye. ADHD as females, ADHD AF, ADHD as females.